war between Prester John and El Danite and its real implications by Mika Perry. I never heard of this. Drop this, preparing to drop this. Been playing the harlot, right? Yeah, go. Let's take it back to verse 1, man. Get it for the Templar like it's the first time. Hey, out to the Templar, Irvin Reed, man. Make sure you're always in the classroom of the Templar, Irvin Reed. And Hawa said unto me, go yet love a woman beloved of her friend, and an adulteress, even as Hawa loves the children of Israel, though they turn into other gods. This is why you're in solitary, boss. This is why you living alone, not because you chose to live alone. Hawa didn't let you play the hoe no more. Hawa took away the harlots from you, and yet we still got the harlots running around in the churches today. Going after other gods in the mosque today, in the temples today. We most high over everything. Nothing in between us and our Creator. We don't worship nothing else. We don't venerate nothing else. We don't venerate King David, even though you're going to return. Seek the Creator. Because as soon as you return, you KTC, you seek. You desire Hawa, you meditate on the law, you meditate on the code, and then, my nigga, once you get your frequency up, then you can also seek and desire the Khan, right? And this ain't just no man thing. You know, David got a queen, so we're going to talk Sheba, right? We're going to talk Khalifa. We're going to talk the Amazon queens, Khan. And we're going to continue that talk because, a lot of information has been taken off the web, internet, the web, the World Wide Web. But I went ahead and, I got some information before they took some of these websites down. And love to Tracy Lett. I want to share some of Tracy Lett. While we talking Queens, I got to big up Tracy Lett. She made so many PDFs for us. So I want to dig on those, man. Just, make sure you got the drop. So when you return, you seek the Creator, you seek Yahweh, not JC. There's not a scripture alive that tells you to wake up, seek the Creator, and JC. They had to invent a new test with a new hero and a new romance, man. Love to the Templar. Then you come trembling to Hawa, because now you're not in solitary. You're humble because you didn't know that the Creator could do that to you, right? Take away all your memory, put you in the Ruach Tardima, put you to sleep, put you in a slumber. But the book of Isaiah talk about our slumber, right? The Ruach Tardima. Now you come trembling, humble to Hawa and to his goodness in the end of days. Had to slow it down for the Nagas in the front of the class, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you've been in solitary because you're going after these other guys. Sometimes you're a solitary Naga, I get it. Sometimes you like to be alone, I get it, but Israel as a tribe, Hasharala as a tribe, we are in solitary. We've been in solitary from the Creator because we refuse to be in solitary from their other gods. You gotta choose your soul, top of the soul. You're gonna do the soul Invictus, or you're gonna do the soul bone, top of the soul bone. You're gonna do your fire, your water, your ether. We're talking elements when I'm talking soul or solitary. You could be in solitary against eating meat, right? You could leave that alone, right? You can be in solitary against all hijacks. Like, I'm in solitary against all these hijacks. I'm alone. I'm away from it. That's a good solitary. Hawa put us in solitary because we didn't want to be in solitary from the hijack. We wanted to be one with the hijack. We was playing the harlot. But the Lion of Judah, the lion, sometimes it's called a solitary animal. Hawa retired us from being the head. We became the tail. We became remote from society, mainly remote from Hawa, not having company or not much frequented. Nobody's visiting us. No one's helping us. Deuteronomy 28, right? No one's saving us. No one's buying us back. No one's redeeming us as a solitary resistance or place. Lonely. We've been lonely, destitute of company as a solitary life. We've been in solitary, boss, many days, but now we can return, seek Hawa and David our Khan. The imaginary war between Prester John and Eldad the Danite, Dane, right? The tribe of Dan, and its real implications. So let's see how they put this together with the Prester John, Genghis Khan flow. Let's talk San Benyon River. What's the implications of Prester John as the scepter of Judah will never depart, right? So if he's going to war against the other tribes, that sounds very biblical, right? Don't the northern and southern tribes have a little beef here and there, right? So the Davids fight each other. I mean, there's all type of internal wars going on, and this might be giving some drop on that. So love to Micah Perry. Let's go. Let me clear my throat. Let's rock with it, man. Let's rock. Let's press the 21. Let go. Ooh, ooh, So it's talking about the abstract. The abstract. All right, let's go. After introducing Eldad the Danite and his literature, this article presents an entangled history. Oh, here we go, boss. It's very entangled. Of the belief in a utopian land. Like a promised land, let's go. Among medieval Jews, medieval, man, look, man, I know, I'm gonna read it, but medieval, right? So this is when they want to put these titles, Dark Ages, medieval, they're talking so-called black people. Specifically, they're talking, the tribes, the Hebrews, the copper-colored cars, right? So, medieval Jews and Christians, Nestorians, we get it, let's go. It does so by examining the relationship between the Eldad literature and the different versions of the letter of Prester John, first in Latin and then in the vernacular. These two tales of an imaginary land, call it America, boss, were popular among both Jews and Christians. And again, they say imaginary land. We're talking Indian Superior. This will be their imaginary land. Cathay, Cateo, India, right? Florida, Mexico, right? Let's pan out. We're talking about Asia, right? Asia, Asia, right? Does North America exist? Or are we just talking Asia, boss? Florida, Asia, got it. This will be their imaginary land. This is what they're looking for, right? This is what Columbus looking. This is what Cortez, Bernal Diaz, and them, right? So let's go. These two tales of an imaginary land were popular among both Jews and Christians. The two societies shared the belief in the land of Prester John and his neighbors, the 10 lost tribes. So Prester John is sharing the land with these other 10 tribes, these 10 lost tribes. We're just talking about southern tribes, then you got the northern tribes. So they having their little scrap, all right? So, and even exchange information about these mythical lands. Both Jews and Christians also use these stories against each other by retelling them with a bias to one side or the other, right? We got a lot of Christian bias. This literary interaction reflects the entanglement of these two societies and its limitations, demonstrating how the and used it in similar ways, but to contrary ends. All right. So they got some keywords. All right, Eldad, entangled history. All right, Prestigion. All right. Toward the end of the 9th century, a strange-looking traveler made an appearance in the Jewish community of Karawan, North Africa, today North Central Tunisia. Oh, we're talking Tennessee. Tunisia or Tennessee. This Jew Eldad spoke only a strange and unfamiliar Hebrew. Just remember, this is Asia, right? And if they're talking about North Africa, remember, man, who the Confederacy is. This is Northwest Africa, boss, because there's a hush history about the Moors. That's like a big secret. Yeah, Southwest Africa. We're talking South America, right? And we're talking Amazon. And one of my niggas in the comments was like, can you clarify the Amazon? Is it African Amazon or South America, American Amazon? Because they keep trying to make this an African thing. Well, first of all, they think you're in Africa, all right? So, and second of all, now I'm talking Amazon rainforest, Amazon like Brazil, right? So we're talking Khalifa like the Amazon Queen, California, right? So I'm talking about India Superior, boss. Talking India Superior. That's what we're talking about. That's all we're talking. Let's go. And after the rest, to the entire Earth plane, we just got to reclaim a few things. We are throwing shade on no other continents and nothing like that. We just got to reclaim a few things. And it might hurt a few feelings. Matter of fact, I got something to say. Stare at this map. Stare at this map while I got something to say, all right? You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? You're on an investigation. Certain points of the investigation might feel good to you. Certain points in the investigation might feel like it's tearing you apart, tearing you different ways because of certain beliefs you had, certain things that have been, solidified to you that you might need to surf the wave on. You know what I'm saying? So be comfortable at this point in the investigation. The wave surfer needs to be comfortable with being uncomfortable from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I just want to throw that out there. Whether we're talking Prestigion, Indigenous Truth, Orientation, Flat Drop 101, the frequency flow, we're talking the code. At some point, certain things might, cause you a little discomfort. You need to be comfortable, my niggas, with being uncomfortable, man. Another thing I want to say is this, man, while it's fresh on my mind. The way we act, the way us as I'm just talking to my people, okay? Whoever you are, that's cool. I'm talking to my people. The way we act, especially towards each other, we can't say we ain't black because we sure act black. You know what I mean? We can't say we indigenous, copper color, this and that. When we act towards each other, man, very black. Back to the more and more war, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's always been tribal war, but have we not acted atrociously wicked, horrible as a black deed or crime, man? I mean, look at the crime that we got, man. The murder rate, everybody keeping score like it's a video game. These young killers today, man, got zero filter on their kilometer, on their kilometer, man. Like, they got no They got nothing holding them back. You know what I'm saying? They got no counterbalance of nothing, man. They just are acting, and it's not their fault. You know what I mean? This is why we talk Pressure John, so they know they regal, so they know they royals. And so that they can say, how do we get here? And we can say, yo, at some point we got out of code, and we all got to take accountability for it before we blame no white man or no black man. We are black, right? We are black because this is what we doing. I'm speaking as a people. All right, you good, cool, you good. But we as a people are very black right now, man. We've been black for a long time, and that's why they call us black, and that's why we embrace black. Even if you're talking about the color, you know, there's other frequencies. You got to learn your language. You speak in English. You speak in Hijack 101. So you can't claim a title in the hijack language that is talking about the infinite darkness to you. The word dark is a curse. The word black is a curse. You speak in a curse. Learn how to express yourself without cursing yourself. But Israel will return, right? I'm just getting this off my chest bone, man. Israel will return, right? It's all good. It's been tribal war, but have we not acted atrociously wicked, horrible as a black deed or crime, man? I mean, look at the crime that we got, man. The murder rate, everybody keeping score like it's a video game. These young killers today, man, got zero filter on on their kilometer, on their kilometer, man. Like they got nothing holding them back. You know what I'm saying? They got no counterbalance of nothing, man. They just are acting, and it's not their fault. You know what I mean? This is why we talk Pressure John, so they know they regal, so they know they royals. And so that they can say, how do we get here? And we can say, yo, at some point we got out of code, and we all got to take accountability for it before we blame no white man or no black man. We are black, right? We are black because this is what we doing. I'm speaking as a people. All right? You good, cool, you good. But we as a people are very black right now, man. We've been black for a long time, and that's why they call us black, and that's why we embrace black. Even if you're talking about the color, you know, there's other frequencies. You got to learn your language. You speak in English. You speak in Hijack 101. So you can't claim a title in the hijack language that is talking about the infinite darkness to you. The word dark is a curse. The word black is a curse. You speak in a curse. Learn how to express yourself without cursing yourself. But Israel will return, right? I'm just getting this off my chest bone, man. Israel will return, right? It's all good. We're going to stop acting black, right? Huh? We're going to seek a while. We're going to KTC. We're going to stop being atrociously wicked, stop murdering each other, stop thieving on each other, stop bearing false witness on each other. Monogamite. As we grow up in our frequency, as we cool, things get real clear. Everyone talking the code on their kilometer, on their kilometer, man. Like they got nothing holding them back. You know what I'm saying? They got no counterbalance of nothing, man. They just are acting, and it's not their fault. You know what I mean? This is why we talk Pressure John, so they know they regal, so they know they royals. And so that they can say, how do we get here? And we can say, yo, at some point we got out of code, and we all got to take accountability for it before we blame no white man or no black man. We are black, right? We are black because this is what we doing. I'm speaking as a people. All right? You good, cool, you good. But we as a people are very black right now, man. We've been black for a long time, and that's why they call us black, and that's why we embrace black. Even if you're talking about the color, You know, there's other frequencies. You got to learn your language. You speak in English. You speak in Hijack 101. So you can't claim a title in the Hijack language that it's talking about the infinite darkness to you. The word dark is a curse. The word black is a curse. You speak in a curse. Learn how to express yourself without cursing yourself. But Israel will return, right? I'm just getting this off my chest bone, man. Israel will return, right? It's all good. We don't stop acting black, right? Huh? We're going to see Kawhi, we're going to KTC. We're going to stop being atrociously wicked, stop murdering each other, stop thieving on each other, stop bearing false witness on each other. Monogolite, as we grow up in our frequency, as we coon, things get real clear. Everyone wants to hold us back. Everyone wants to stun our growth. But they can't, because it's destined, it's our destiny to be who we are. We can't be false witnesses on each other. And the worst type of false witness is a nigga that sets you up to try to, make you these type of things. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between you witnessing something. Even, you could be in error and have to correct your error to witness, properly or whatever. Or you can come to a proper conclusion based on what you're witnessing. And because that brother or sister don't like what your conclusion is, they'll call you a false witness. And they don't understand, man. They are false witnessing by calling you a false witness. If you came to your conclusion honestly, if you have literal breadcrumbs and a trail in an investigation, or anything that you put together to come to your honest conclusion, you don't have to like my conclusion. It don't mean I'm a false witness.
Body bag.
I don't have to like your conclusion. It don't mean you're a false witness. And the worst type of false witness is someone who's claiming somebody's false witnessing on them, and all they're doing is, coming to an honest opinion or a conclusion. A real false witness is someone who plots on your ass to smear your name and, put you into some type of traffic or flow that has nothing to do with you, tries to put some type of crime on you that can get you hurt, can get you twisted. That's a false witness. That's someone who's meditating on your downfall. Nagas could be witnesses, and Nagas could, come with conclusions and, have opinions, you don't have to like it, but don't try to use the code in these type of ways. That's the worst type of brother or sister. What they call that's a Madiak. Someone who's twisting Hawa's words, twisting the code, acting like they're prophets and, oh yeah, the Creator told me and put this on me. The Creator put this on my heart. Stop using the Creator's name in vain. We can't confirm the Creator's rocking with you. It just feels good for you to say the Creator's rocking with you. You're just feeding your own ego. You never hear us say, oh, the Creator, this lesson was put on my heart. But, I hope and pray, that I'm surfing the right, wave with Hawa, that I'm surfing a wave that's pure water with our Creator, and that I can continue to sharpen up and grow in the frequency so that it is pure water. That's the hope, that's the prayer. But, I never just say, hey, Hawa told me to tell you to do this. But we got people like that, they bearing false witness on the Creator. This is atrociously wicked, but not. I'm just making an example. Like, this is atrociously wicked behavior. And then we putting other powers before Hawa, and then we going in praising all these other entities. We are being atrociously wicked, man. We can't be mad that they're calling us black. Look what we doing to each other. We coveting each other. We jealous of everything we got. Now it's about followers. Now it's about all this social media stuff. Now we got all these other jealousies. Social media is amped up. The games is amped up. All this covetous and jealousy and vanity. It's But yet within that, we got, babies in the bathwater, you know what I'm saying? And all praise to God, we got the water that's flowing even through social media and AI to the cons that's popping off, really making it a balance, really putting a balance out there. But man, the vanity gotta stop. The adultery gotta stop. Bearing false witness gotta stop, man. We ain't honoring our frame and our shaper, man. We ain't honoring Abba. That gotta stop, man. We ain't resting. We ain't taking that breath. I want to say, take a breath, just like you tell your children. Take a breath. Go lie down. Get some rest. And they want to pop off and start playing video games. Like, that's the issue, right? And this is what we doing. Allah is just telling us to rest. Not go to church, not go to a mosque. Rest. We being atrociously wicked, man. So, just want to put that out there from the hard bone, man. The way that we act, we are black as a tribe. And I'm here, to change that. We here to change that. Drop Nation here to change that. So that we can return, right? Because afterwards shall the children of Israel return. Seek Allah and King David. Well, let's go. Kaka. So, we're talking Eldad, and it says this Jew Eldad spoke only a strange and unfamiliar Hebrew, right? Okay? So, we know we're talking about Hebrews. They're in North Africa. Wow, We in North Africa too, boss, right? So put this story where it belongs. Put it in America. Put it in India Superior, right? Put it in Asia, boss, right? Put it right here in Cathay, or what they call Kapangu. I see Florida. This is all North America. Cathay, China, the con of China. We got China here, we got Kapangu, Japan here, and then they took this island off the maps. Or is it underwater? We don't know, but put the story here when the Eldad is popping off, man. Let's go. North Africa, right? Tunisia, Tennessee. Eldad spoke a strange and unfamiliar Hebrew and claimed to come from the lost tribe of Dan. He carried lost traditions and stories from the 10 lost tribes of Israel, living beyond the legendary river Sambanyan with their king and army. These accounts entranced Jewish communities worldwide and nourished legends that have persisted even until this day. So imagine, we're going to, talk Sambanyan, trust me, we're going to go all the way in on the Sambanyan, maybe on 122, but they say was like a river of sand, a sand river, but it still had fish, but you can't cross it on the Sabbath, it flows 6 days and it rests on the Sabbath, so they call it the Sabbath River or the Sambanyan. And apparently across the river in exile are these 10 tribes, right? So wherever this sandy river is, it got 10 tribes on the other side. Now, are they the complete tribes? Are they remnants of the tribes? Are they people that, are they real niggas ready to pop off when it's time? Like, is it all happening, man? So let's go. These accounts entranced Jewish communities worldwide. All right, so in the 12th century, Europe was electrified. Europe was electrified by a letter addressed to the Byzantine Emperor Manuel from a Christian king. Nah, man, Prester John, living beyond Arab lands. We're talking Rabbi, let's go. In a land of wonder and riches among the nations subject to his rule are listed the 10 tribes or lost tribes of Israel. But you're going to return, right? So that's, you're going to be found again. And their king, described by Eldad almost 300 years before. And we got out to press a letter that this king of Israel had, raised up as he's the king of Israel over these 10 tribes. And the beef was, Prester John said, man, what are you talking about, man? I got the scepter. So it was like a northern tribe, southern tribe, battle. You know what I'm saying? This king boasted himself over the lost tribes. Now, what does that got to do with Genghis Khan? Because we know that's a very popular, familiar story of the war with Genghis Khan and Prester John. Go get the drop, right? So, let's go. Is Genghis Khan calling himself king over these lost tribes after the invasion in the 1200s? And this letter's taking place, 12th century, 1165 letter, let's go. Among the nations subject to his rule, are listed the 10 lost tribes of Israel and their king. Sound like some Genghis Khan stuff, right? Described by Eldad almost 300 years before. In the later Middle Ages, Christians and Jews continue to elaborate upon these descriptions of an imaginary utopian kingdom which serve changing political, ideological, theological, and social functions. These two stories were told and retold in various incarnations that serve changing political, ideological, theological, and social functions of the two societies who consumed them. In this article, I explore both the textual and the cultural relationships between these two stories. I first present the Eldad literature and examine its relationship with the first Latin accounts of Prester John. I then explore the Nachleben, Nachleben, of the Prester John and Eldad literatures and later versions and other languages, their uses, and the possible connections between them. Now, I've never seen that before, so I just want to see what it is. We always learn something new around here.
That's right.
To live one's life according to a role model, someone's teaching. So he's talking about following these teachings, okay? Maybe. The afterlife of an author in the sense of their posthumous published work or reputation. So it's kind of following the reputation of Eldad, the afterlife of the author. Okay, let's go. So I then explore the Nachleben of the Prester John and Eldad literatures in later versions in other languages, their uses and the possible connections between them from a methodological point of view, while the first part of this article relies on philology, which is pretty much language, right? Studies of language, in order to establish the genetic relationship between these texts. The second part will employ the stance of the new philology. And, I'm dropping this for you, so get the fine print. Let me know what y'all see. And the study of transmission in order to portray their cultural relationships accordingly. In exploring later versions of this literature, I will not seek to reveal the original work that informs these different versions, but rather will treat each of them as a unique composition that bears witness to the society that generated and consumed it. All right, so I'm getting this so you can get the psychology behind it, that this ain't no play. That this researcher, Mika Perry, is on an investigation just like us, and they got their own, hard hits and pivot points they're using, and we got our frequency that we've been, surfing in, all praise Hawa, man. So, Allah, we're going to search for Hawa and King David, right? Prester, king. Prester, priest. John means king.
God. Khan, Naga.
John means king.
Naga. Khan.
So through this analysis, I present an entangled history of the beginning in the utopian land, or the beautiful land, or the promised land of Prester John.
Prester, nigga.
In the Jewish or Hebrew tribes among two units of medieval European society, the Christian majority and the Jewish minority. Subsequently, I demonstrate these two groups' cultural entanglement, how ideas resonated from one to the other, and how these two sub-societies constituted each other. In a broader outline, this study is intended to illustrate the ways in which medieval societies used the imaginaire to construct reality, or, you know, the Christians had to use their imagination to create, you know, a symbol that they can now use as a crusade tool. You know, Prester John became someone that they had to create a narrative that he's there to help them. So they're looking for help against the Moors, right? They're looking for help against the Moabite tribes and Canaanite tribes and all the other tribes. They got to face these Christians, right? So, and these Christians are also black people, you know what I'm saying? So this is still tribal war.
That's right.
The portrayal contributes to a once revolutionary and now well-accepted approach to Jewish-Christian relations in the Middle Ages. This approach assumes that both Jews and Christians were far more aware of each other's beliefs than had once been taught or thought, and the exchange of ideas between them far more dynamic than the facade of polemical literature would lead us to believe. The key to this approach is to read Jewish-Christian relations through a wider variety of sources and methodologies, including ritual, fiction, liturgy, literary criticism, sociology, and anthropology. All right, a lot of big words, man. So let's go. Let's go, man. The accounts of Eldad the Danite and Prester John. All right, modern research struggles to identify Eldad. Was he a Kari, Samaritan, liar, merchant, crook, or simply a fantasizing storyteller? Did he actually exist, right? All of what we're talking about when we talk Khalifa, they're going to call Queen Khalifa imaginary. Prester John's imaginary. Moses is imaginary. The Creator's imaginary. The firmament's imaginary. Everything's imaginary. Dragons are imaginary. Managa, you became a myth. You're imaginary. Did he actually exist? These questions have been further complicated by the crucial textual difficulty. The best sources about Eldad are late 15th to 16th centuries. And if you put that together, that this could be happening in the 15th century with Prester John instead of the 12th century, and man, objects in the mirror might be closer than what they appear. Say it with me, my night. Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear, man. Prester John might be way more recent. King David might be way more recent. 1400 recent. 1500s recent. Yeah, now you in the, almost in the, damn near the Tecumseh flow, man, by the time you put this together, man. So let's go. Hey, out to Tecumseh. Hey, man. Tecumseh tried to unite the tribes, right? So,
Chickamauga.
Aye. So the best sources are about Eldad are late 15th and 16th century, whereas earlier extant sources are fragmentary and comprehensible only in light of the latter ones from a systematic analysis of this material. David J. Wasserstein concludes that both its dating and attribution to Eldad are uncertain, and that these problems prevent future discussion of the subject. Oh yes, David Wasserstein. Yeah, everything's uncertain, man. All right, so our primary source concerning Eldad is an alleged responsum And again, you can get the gist. You can always tell the vibe. You know, you can tell the vibe with these authors if they're trying to prove, you know, Prester John exists and, you know, prove India superior is the flow and promised land America, and the other ones that try to get some documents to disprove or make it imaginary. But we might get some babies out. You know, I'm going to get a couple more paragraphs and I'm going to skip over and start talking about some Amazon queens and maybe come back to this for the diss mile. Hey, it's Prester John 121, man. It's all happening, man.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Our primary source concerning Eldad is an alleged responsum by the Babylonian John, right? So it's another way of saying John, like Prester John. They'll spell it with a G. Love to the Templar, who also showed this G-A, sometimes a G-E-O-N or G-A-O-N, you know, John, J or G. Remember, the J don't exist, so I think we're getting a little closer here. John, right? So, head of the yeshiva in Baghdad. Head of the yeshiva in Baghdad. Okay, let's go. Let's just rock with it. Zema Ben Hayim. They put him 889, 895, written in response to a question sent to him by the Jews of Qarawan. The text begins with their petition, which describes Eldad's arrival and his account of the lost tribes. He reports where each tribe is cited, how they conduct war with their enemies, the righteousness of their king, which they put in parentheses, ADIEL, and their obeisance or obedience to God's laws. Okay. So they do know about the code, right? The petition goes on to say that the tribes do not possess the Talmud or other post-biblical works, and that they speak and know only Hebrew. All right. I mean, look, man, this is what the report is, all right? So when Columbus brought a Hebrew interpreter, Louis Torres, over here to convert you, like they were converting the Mongols, trying to convert the Mongols and the Indians at the same damn time, or we're talking the same people, because Mongol means great ones. And they reclassified the Mongols with a whole other group of people, right? Because now it's a whole other barbarian and all this, but the barber is the Swanite. And then they made it pros and cons, but the cons are the praise. You see how they flipping it, man? So we're taking about the cons, we're taking back the barbars, the swans, and we're taking back the cons and the swan. So these niggas only rocking, you know, with Tanakh. They ain't rocking with no post-biblical New Testament. They ain't rocking with no Talmud. We only know Hebrew. The Eber Kaver. Huh? Here examples of this strange Hebrew are provided. Strange Hebrew, what they talking about? Picto Paleo? Like Shalom instead of Shalom, right? But the tribes do possess oral traditions coming from the mouth of Joshua, coming from the mouth of Moses, coming from the mouth of the Almighty. Let's go. Let's go. The text then cites a treatise on the laws of ritual slaughter, Hilhat Shahita, as an example of these traditions. Towards the end of the letter, the petitioners recount the legend of the children of Moses, B'nai Moshe, i.e. the Levites, who after the destruction of the temple were carried by a cloud. Doesn't it say in the book of Exodus, as they are following this cloud, pillar of cloud and all this stuff, right? So, all right, put it together. Children of Moses, carried by a cloud, The cloud is also, by definition, anything transparent that's above you. Like, it doesn't have to be a cloud like you think it is. We could be talking dragon easily, right? Frequency. Cloud. I mean, that's a good, what's a cloud, man? We know what black is, man. But what's a cloud? Ooh, a collection of visible vapor, watery particles suspended in the atmosphere. Right? Okay, vapors. Okay. All right, man. Somebody said, "Hey, drop. What's a vapor?" We're just talking that water, right? We're talking dragons, man. All right. Water, fire, earth, air. We're talking dragons, elements. All right, let's go. Let's go. Invisible elastic fluid. Rendered airform by heat. Capable of being condensed or brought back to the liquid or solid state. That water. Yeah, visible fluid floating in the atmosphere. Fog, smoke. Smoke like a dragon, smoke out of his nose, fire out of his mouth, Psalms 18 type smoke. Substances resembling smoke would also be a cloud. Or wind. Wind could be a vapor, a vapor. So the vapor could be any substance resembling smoke. Sometimes filled in the atmosphere, particularly in America. What? Come on, man. Man, say it with me, man. Body bag for the illusion. Come on, man, I can't make this up. Why they gotta single out America when we talking vapors, man? Oh, you got the vapors. Wind, mental fume, vain imagination, unreal. Oh, it sounds like dragon talk. Sounds like dragon talk. This is crazy. Only in America, boss. Let's go, man. Let's go. So, hey, we having fun, man. It is a victory lap. We are on a warpath, though. We are on a warpath. Hey, the price is going up, man. The price is going up, man. We're on a warpath. We're being carried by the clouds. We're being carried by the vapor, right? We're being carried by the dark and varied colors, right? We're being carried by, this is the dark varied colors in veins or spots on stones or other bodies. Say it with me. Body bag. Body bag, man.
Body bag.
Oh, look at this. I'm just saying what's the definition of a cloud. We got vapor. We got all kinds of stuff. A cloud of incense. Okay. A great multitude. A vast collect. Come on, man. Come on, man. Shout out to the homie, man, what's my name? What's my man's name? Bully. The Bully Slayer, man. Hey, come on, brother. Brother. Come on, brother. The great multitude, brother. Come on, brother. Come on, man. Y'all gotta rock with this, man. Come on, man. Hijack City. Watch out. Look at them try to block. Look at them try to block. Nah, man, you can't block this. A great multitude is a cloud. A great multitude is a cloud. A vast collection of what is a cloud? It doesn't say water and rain. You got to put the conjecture to that. It doesn't say that. A great multitude is a cloud. So it could be a cloud of angels, a cloud of dragons, but the tribe was carried by the cloud, right? The great multitude. Oh boy, the collection of smoke, right? Who wants to smoke? Glad I got these last, couple paragraphs before we pop off in the Amazon Queen. So, toward the end of the letter, the petitioners recount the legend of the children of Moses, B'nai Moshe, the Levites, who after the destruction of the temple were carried by the cloud, carried by the, what they say, multitude, the great multitude. Just trying to put this together, boss. A great multitude, a vast collection. Okay. So the children of Moses was carried by a vast collection, a great multitude of, I'll let you fill that in place for safekeeping behind the river. So, do you think, just using your own common sense, that they were just carried by a random cloud like you see today? Just stuff you could just fall right through, right? Or are we talking about a great multitude of something, right? So, let me know. Let's go. And they were carried behind the San Minyan by dragons. Right? These tribes were carried to exile, not as a punishment, but really as safety. Are they still there today? We're still looking for this sandy river, this San Minyan River. And then I'm just going to let you know how deep. Let me show you how deep this river go. How deep does it go? I mean, everybody's talking about the San Minyan. Everybody's talking San Minyan.
Body bag.
The river beyond which the 10 tribes were exiled by the Assyrian king Shalmaneser V. Didn't we just bring up Genghis Khan? Haven't we been talking about this connection? Man, shout out to Bro Lex Will, man. That's the first time I heard of Shalmaneser, Nebuchadnezzar, which, can also be this Genghis Khan flow too. We talked about it. Can Genghis Khan be Nebuchadnezzar? Nebuchadnezzar literally means Nebo, defend my boundaries. Nebo, defend my boundaries. So
that's right.
Who's Nebuchadnezzar for real? Is it all the same thing as this Assyrian king, Shalmaneser? Did Genghis Khan exile these lost tribes and saying he's king over them, but also kind of protecting them at the same time? I don't know. That's for the advanced wave servers. In the earliest reference, such as the Targum Pseudo-Jonathan, the river is given no particular attributes, but later literature claims that it rages with rapids and throws up stones 6 days a week, or even consists entirely of stone, sand, and flame. Sandy River, right? For those 6 days, the San Minyan is impossible to cross, but it stops flowing every Shabbat. So it's called the Shabbat River, man. It's San Minyan, man. The day Jews or Hebrews are not allowed to travel. So that's why these exiled tribes, they better not try to cross the Shabbat River on the Shabbat. They better not try to cross the Shabbat River on the Shabbat. All right, so some writers say this is an origin of the name. I'll leave this for you. And then you get into Pliny the Elder, and everyone's talking Shabbat River, man. Everyone's talking about these red Jews cut off from the rest of Jewry by the legendary San Minyan. The Samayan was a popular subject in medieval literature. For instance, some versions of the Alexander romance have Alexander the Great encounter the river on his travels. Uh-oh, Alexander the Great, who's that? In modern literature, the Samayan appears prominently in Umberto Eco's Eco novel Baudolino, Baudolino, whose protagonists manage to cross the raging river of stones and find on the other side not the lost 10 tribes, but the kingdom of Prester John of their myth, right? Christian myth. So let's think about this. Who's on the other side of the Samayan? One, where is the Samayan? Is the Samayan somewhere in India Superior, South America, where do you think it is? I believe it's somewhere over here, I believe it's somewhere over here, folks. What has it got to do with the Amazon? What's it got to do with the Amazon? We'll get back to this, but again, it says the river does not contain water, but turns and swirls rocks and sands to prevent passage for 6 days a week, and then rest magically during the Sabbath. So finding this river would definitely give you the exact day of the Sabbath. You'll be definitely on your time because this river stops flowing on the Shabbat. Okay? What's it got to do with the Amazon? Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a taste. We'll get back. It's like a 27-page document, at least what the preview is. I think we're on like page 3, so we'll get back to it. Amazon, let's talk Amazon definition in 1828. Webster Dictionary. Amazon. Okay. This is said to be formed of a negative or a nagging breast. A nagging breast. Let me know in the comments if you know what a nagging breast is. What they talk. History informs us that the Amazons, cut off their right breast, and that it might not incommode them in shooting and hurling the javelin. This is doubtless a fable. Okay. The Amazons are said by historians to have been a race of female warriors who founded an empire on the river Thermodon in Asia Minor. Whoa. Asia Minor, boss. So you want to put us in the Asia over there, or is all this happening right here? Big Dragon Pants, Big Boy India, Big Dragon India Superior, which is Asia, but they're just twisting it by putting minor, right, to throw us off. Is it possible? Notice how down here it says the Mar, M-A-R, right, the Mare or More, right, the Mar, Magellan, right, Magellanum. So Mar just means like water, right, or great river, great water, you know what I'm saying, great, we're talking water, great, more means great, right, more means great. God, great water. Keep that in mind with this Mar, right? Keep the Mar in mind. Why? Let's go right to it. Let me just skip down here right quick. So, let's look at the third definition. This name has been given to some American females on the banks of the largest river in the world. First of all, this is a body bag for the illusion as they keep trying to bring this into Asia Minor. We just said, are you talking Asia Major, boss? Then we keep reading and they say it got something to do with the American, right? Love the Queen Khalifa, Queen Sheba. Sheba means daughter of the seven. Sheba, Sibola, Shimbala, Shibola. We're talking Shambhala, Shabala. We're talking that mythical promised land. Sheba is a shortened, form of Shambhala, Shimbala. So this female is a Shem. She's a member of the Shem lineage. She is the daughter of the seven cities of gold, Manaka. That's what she's bringing to the table when she's rocking with Solomon, or we're talking Bathsheba rocking with David. Sheba's a title. We have multiple Shebas. Solomon's queen had a title of Sheba. David's queen had a title of Sheba. These are high Amazon queens. To answer Managa's question, we're talking America. We ain't talking the Africa that they're giving us. We're talking what they already know we're in, right? We're talking America, Africa, right? I say remember the Mar flow because these American females on the banks of the largest river in the world, this is how they got their name. The largest river of the world, which one? We're talking about the Amazon, right? Right here in America, who joined their husbands in attacking the Spaniards, Manaka. This is a body bag. Because now we got a date, right? We got the Spaniards invading 1400s, 1500s, really 1600s. And these Amazon queens were fighting next to their oppressors, man. Next to the Khans, man. I mean, they are the Khans, you know what I'm saying? They're the Khans, the priestess, you know what I'm saying? We're talking queens and kings. We're talking Sheba, Solomon, right? We're not talking one over the other, man. They're talking about framer, shaper, man. You see how this is unfolding? So they're on the banks of the largest river, and they're joining their husbands. They're not saying, oh, feminine energy, we got this all by ourselves. They're joining their husbands in attacking the Spaniards that first visited the country. This is what the Amazons got their name for. This wasn't happening in Africa today, because the Spaniards is over here visiting this country, and these Americans, Amarucans, are right there in the banks of this larger river, Amazon. And another name for Amazon is, drum roll, please. Trivial occurrence gave the name Amazon to the river. So, correction, they're not named after the river. The river is named after them.
Let's go back on that.
Alright, so some writers say this is an origin of the name. I'll leave this for you, and then you get into Pliny the Elder, and everyone's talking Shabbat River, man. Everyone's talking about these red Jews cut off from the rest of Jewry. But a legendary sound. Okay. This is said to be formed of a negative or a negging breast. A negging breast. Let me know in the comments if you know what a negging breast is. I mean, you know what they talk about. History informs us that the Amazons, cut off their right breast, and that it might not incommode them in shooting and hurling the javelin. This is doubtless a fable. Okay. The Amazons are said by historians to have been a race of female warriors who founded an empire on the river Thermodon in Asia Minor. Whoa. Asia Minor, boss. So you want to put us in the Asia over there, Nippur. Is all this happening right here in Big Dragon Pants, Big Boy India, Big Dragon India Superior, which is Asia. But they're just twisting it by putting minor, right, to throw us off. I mean, is it possible? Notice how down here it says the Mar, M-A-R, right, the Mare or More, right? The Mar Magellan, right? Magellanum. So Mar just means like water, right? Or great river, great water, you know what I'm saying? Great, we're talking water. Great. More means great, right? More means great. God, great water. Keep that in mind with this Mar, right? Keep the Mar in mind. Why? Let's go right to it. Let me just skip down here right quick. So, let's look at the third definition. This name has been given to some American females on the banks of the largest river in the world. First of all, this is a body bag for the illusion as they keep trying to bring this into Asia Minor. We just said, are you talking Asia Major, boss? Then we keep reading and they say it got something to do with the America, right? Love the Queen Khalifa, Queen Sheba. Sheba means daughter of the seven. Sheba, Sibola, Shimbala, Shibola. We're talking Shambhala, Shabala. We're talking that mythical promised land. Sheba is a shortened, form of Shambhala, Shimbala. So this female is a Shem. She's a member of the Shem lineage. She is the daughter of the 7 cities of gold, Manaka. That's what she's bringing to the table when she's rocking with Solomon, or we're talking Bathsheba rocking with David. Sheba's a title. We have multiple Shebas. Solomon's queen had a title of Sheba. David's queen had a title of Sheba. These are high Amazon queens. To answer Managa's question, we're talking Americana. We ain't talking the Africa that they're giving us. We're talking what they already know we're in, right? We're talking America, Africa, right? And I say remember the Mar flow because these American females on the banks of the largest river in the world, this is how they got their name. The largest river of the world, which one? We're talking about the Amazon, right? Right here in America, who joined their husbands in attacking the Spaniards, my knock. This is a body bag. Because now we're talking we got a date, right? We got the Spaniards invading 1400s, 1500s, really 1600s. And these Amazon queens were fighting next to their oppressors, man. Next to the Khans, man. I mean, they are the Khans, you know what I'm saying? They're the Khans, the priests, the priestess, you know what I'm saying? We're talking queens and kings. We're talking Sheba, Solomon, right? We're not talking one over the other, man. They're talking about framer, shaper, man. You see how this is unfolding? So they're on the banks of the largest river, and they're joining their husbands. They're not saying, oh, feminine energy, we got this all by ourselves. They're joining their husbands in attacking the Spaniards that first visited the country. This is what the Amazons got their name for. This wasn't happening in North Africa today, because the Spaniards is over here visiting this country, and these Americans, Maroccans, are right there in the banks of this larger river, Amazon. And another name for Amazon is, drum roll, please. The trivial occurrence gave the name Amazon to the river. So, correction, they're not named after the river. The river's named after them. The river's named after the queens, right? Whose real name is Mar Ana. Can you say it? Boss, can you say it with me? Ania, Ping Pao, right? I say remember the Mar, right? The Mar, referring to this great water like we have here. We're going to use this map a lot. This Orientis Finds map 1531 is going to put a lot of perspective for us, especially when we start talking kanjis, right? Because we got this before in previous presters. The G's and the K's and the C's are interchangeable. The ganja is the kanka. The kanka is a title that these Amazon queens were also holding. The kanka, right? The kanka title. Ka. Okay. We're talking Mar. We're talking Mar-Ana. And now that we know we're talking America, are we also talking, how do you say it? Say it with me, boss. Any, what is the Mar-Anan? Because again, we're just talking about Asia. In the Mar, we're talking America. What does the Mar-Anan have to do with Ania? Quivira is also spelled with a K, like Kiever, and they drop the K and you got the Heber. The V and the B's are interchangeable when you start dissecting their switcheroos. Horace Butler let us know, one letter rule. So his key bearer is also Heber or Hebrew, Hebrew or Eber. the rectum, the kingdom of Eber or the Hebrew, right? Which is also connected with the Anian kingdom. Or we're just talking Anan ben David, Anan son of David, or Hanan, or Kana. But you gotta choose your Canaan, right? But they tell you you're in the land of Canaan, right? But then they put the KH in front of the Anian and they got Canaan or Canaan, right? So there's multiple Canaans, and this Anan is also a son of the prester in the Shem flow, not the Ham flow. So you got a Shem, Anian, Canaan, Hanan, and you got a Ham, Canaan, right? Choose your Canaan. There's multiple Canaans. Kavera. Okay. Yeah, this is called White Fleet's Map, WYTFLIETS. Displays the 16th century, right? We're still in the 1500s. Concept of California, Alaska, and the Pacific and Arctic coasts. So we're talking California like Khalifa, Queen Khalifa. We're talking America, so you're not twisted and thinking this is somewhere else, right? 1597. They say 16th century. This is California, Alaska, Pacific, all that exemplifies the belief in a strait between Asia and the kingdom of Ania. We know this is Asia, but they're talking Asia Minor. But we in Asia Major. Northwest North America, or Northwest America, according to the Moors, right? 7 cities and towns are actually shown along with the many rivers. I just said 7 cities of gold. Sheba, daughter of the 7, right? Is it making sense? Press the 121. 7 cities and towns are actually shown along with the many rivers and caves that are named. Seven cities and towns. Okay. So the more we study, the more we got locations of the 7 cities of go. Okay. I don't want to give too much away. You know, it's a thin line we walk here, man. We don't like to give too much away. But we do need to keep dropping that drop for the wave surfers to keep spreading that drop, you know what I'm saying? So this is devoted solely to the Americas, right? Maranan or Ania. One letter rule. And we know that they changed all the Anias to Arnons, and Arnon was a special river when it came to the boundaries of Moab and Israel, right? So just look up Arnon River and know that it was originally Anion River, and they literally switched them all, and we did plenty of drops showing that. They literally are switching Anion to Arnon, and all internet sites that have Arnon written or Anion written, they changed it in all internet. I've never seen this before. All over the internet, like they just put an algorithm to change all these Anions to Arnon because they want to hide the Anon. They want to hide the they want to hide the Amazon, right? They want to hide Anion. They want to hide the Queen. They want to hide the Sheba, the queen of the 7 cities of gold. They want to hide Ania. So, hey man, fair use in your caboose, man. We're going to get some drop, you know, share some things, and I just want to make sure we cover this, man. Fair use in your caboose. We're going to do some criticism, you know. Top right 107, man. Fall back. Let's go.
Like and subscribe, man. Keep this going.
Okay. Let's back it up. So again, you know, a link we've been digging on, it also shows this connection with the 2 Asias, and where they connect would be the Strait of Anion. They renamed it to the Bering Strait after some jabroni named Bering, right? So we got that. Mythical Straits of Anion, right? Because it's a myth, right? It's all a myth. It was all a dream, right? See how big we could get it. That's probably. But you see, Prester John, India Superior, and this connection with which is really Asia Minor, and this India Superior is really Asia Major. Okay. Yeah. Now this maker of the MS map that's in the British Museum, by the way, has placed Prester John not very far from Mexico. This is a 1530 map. And they put Prester John right here, you know, get the drop. You got the links, pull them up. Literally says Prester John next to India Superior, Cathay, Mexico. Why would Prester John be so close to Mexico? Especially when Mexico is Moses or Mexican. Shout out to my Detroit guy. Meshi is Moshe. Meshi is Moshe. Why would they put this in the British Museum? Because this is in the British Museum showing connection between Marco Polo's Asia and the New Lands. Let's go. We're just talking about the mythical Straits of Ania. We just got receipts. And again, we talk Amazon. Let's just be clear. I'm talking Amazon rainforest, Amazon. I ain't talking nothing they want to connect in, Africa today, which is great because I know they got their tribes of warrior queens like they showed with the woman king. And they say those are Amazons, and this is the hijack, man. Love to all warrior queens, but all warrior queens didn't have the same purpose. All warrior queens didn't serve the same power or Khan, right? So, all warrior queens can't hold a light to Queen Khalifa and them, but they just want to name them Amazon. But we got to pay attention to who's naming those tribes over there in Africa Amazons. Like, who's naming them Amazons? Are they the Amazons, or are they just being named Amazon? I mean, just research the Amazon rainforest. That alone's going to blow your mind, bone. We're talking Peru, right? Jerusalem. God, look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful it is. Dragons everywhere, right? God, this is the Amazon, man. We're talking South America, man. Now, I do understand that there could be, pre-Atlantis connection, continents together, that these waters, might have connected to those same waters over there. I get all that. I'm just saying, when they talk Amazon, remember, the river is named after the queens. The queens ain't named after the river. So these queens that are fighting these Spaniards over here in Cali, in America, and South America, and the islands, the river is named after them. So you can't juxtapose them and put them on another continent when they over here recently fighting the hijack, and the Amazon is named after them, or the Marana, or Ania, which is right here, right? Ania, let's go. Now I tried to cross-reference this with Africa just a little bit. And they say the Amazon rainforest is not located in Africa. Got you. I just want to make this clear. Man, when we talk Amazon, we are talking America. Just for my nigga that needed the clarity, like, yo, can you make it clear? So is it in Africa? Not this particular rainforest. Stop tripping. All right, so let's go. We know that they got the homie Amazons. And this is what the movie was written, all about the woman king, right? So now they got this image of these African Amazons, right? When in reality, we know we're in, according to the hijack perspective, of Northwest Africa. But how did they get their name? The Dahomey Amazons, get it bigger, were a FON, F-O-N, all-female military regiment of the Kingdom of Dahomey. So they're a military regiment serving this king of Dahomey. These Amazons, they're under Queen Khalifa, the ones we talking about. They're not under the king of Dahomey. They're not under the politics of West Africa or Benin. Love to them, but we're talking original Amazons, not duplicates, right? So that existed from the 17th century unto the 19th century. We're not talking 17th century. We're talking when the Spaniards rode up on us. We're talking Amazons centuries before these queens. Love to these queens because I know they held it down. But before they even got this title, we're talking original Amazons when we talk Amazons. They are one of the few documented female armies in modern history. They were named Amazon by Western Europeans who encountered them. Who's these Western Europeans in Spain, in Italy, Portugal? Oh, we're talking the Moors. We're still talking Moors. So they were called Amazon by these Mauritius in Western Europe that say, you remind us of somebody. You remind us of these Amazon queens in America, man. So they were named Amazon by the European. The black European, you know what I mean? Due to the story of the female warriors of Amazons in Greek mythology. And here we go with the myth. Because we know scholar Gerber Davis added 1,000 years, over 1,000 years, to all native people, all native tribes, on all native lands. And this Greek mythology is really their mythos based on India Superior. This is based on Atlantis and all that, right? So we still in America. What came first? You can't. These Amazons ain't got nothing to do with Greece. These Amazons got everything to do with Kalelus, everything to do with Shambhala, man. You know what I'm saying? India Superior. So, this is just, you can read more about the Dahomey, but please know we're talking the originals when we talking Amazon. We're talking Queen Khalifa, right? We're talking the beautiful Queen Khalifa. She's the head of these Amazons. And now we can try to imagine Queen Khalifa and her dragons in them that they want to call mythology, so-called Black Amazon Queen. We're talking California, named after Khalifa, right? Because she is the emblem, right, of California. She's really the emblem of America. Remember that painting that we had, with this beautiful queen, and it says, "This is the emblem of America." I wonder if they took that off the internet. I'm gonna put this in just for them, man. Black Indians. Emblem of America. I gotta just do that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Glad we found it. This is the emblem of America, man. So it's my belief that this is also a depiction of Queen Khalifa holding it down when they got here, ready for war, ready for action. Right, they got this depiction here. America, they say Moors in America. No, we're talking the Queen. We're talking the Queen. We're talking Queen Sheba. Right, then they tried to flip it into this image. Right, now we got this steak ass image right. She got feathers on, but now they have iconoclastic, the Queen. Look, now we got this stank ass image. And look at the little black Indians, right? Tiny Indians with this giantess hijack emblem of America. When it all started out like this. She's like, damn, hijack city. This is an emblem of America. Indigenous North Americans, man. Stop playing, man. Huh? You better stop playing with Queen Khalifa. You better stop playing with the Queen. Let's talk about the Queen. Let's talk about the Queen. Published in 1510, Queen Khalifa is the legend. Is this legend or fact? The Black Amazon Queen, after whom California is named, people in general and the Moors love trying to claim her, trying to make her a Moabite, trying to make her all these other things. When she over there representing Shem on the front lines fighting the Spaniards that were the Moors. The Spaniards were the Moors. She means she's a Moor. Oh, she's a Moor. She fighting your ass. If she's a Moor, why are you doing treaties on this queen? This queen's fighting the Spaniards. You come over here with treaties of peace and friendship. Huh? Make that make sense. If you want to claim her for your Moabite tribes, then why are you coming over here conquering her and her people? You gotta make it make sense. You can't claim all so-called black people as part of the Moorish Confederacy when you're at war with other so-called black people. Somebody's not rocking with your Confederacy. You seem to be Confederate against us. Oh, Hawa, don't hold your silence. Oh, Hawa, don't hold your peace. Be not still, Hawa. We need some action. These people tripping. Your enemies are in an uproar. It's a more and more war. And they that hate you have lifted up the head, and they hold crafty counsel. Crafty conversations against your people. What is crafty converse, man? It means you're behind the scenes, hiding your conversations, right? We don't know what you're talking about. You're meeting in Switzerland. Private meetings, private treaties. More and more war. They hold crafty converse against your people, Hawa. They mad at us because we are Hawa's people. Hawa says in Amos 3, you only of all the families have I known. Hasharah, so I'm gonna take this anger out on you if you don't listen, because I don't know nobody else. I didn't give them the law. I didn't give them the code. I don't expect these hijacks to keep the code. I expect you to keep the code. So you can be the head, not the tail, and have protection in this frequency I've created for you. I want you to be in peace and paradise. I want you to be in Shalom. I want you to be in the promised land. But you can't come over here stinking up the place. You can't come over here with your gods. You're going to be in solitary, boss, many days until you clean up your act. You're going to be lonely many days without me. You'll see. You want them? You can have them. You want those guys? They're going to abandon you too. You're going to be so lonely. They're going to abandon you too. You think Jesus is going to save you, man? Or you think Hawa's going to save you? You better make up your mind. People say, save yourselves. You know how you save yourself? By being in order. Same way with your diet, same way with your routine. That's how you preserve your life. There's nothing wrong with order, Khan. You save yourself by being in order, and with the order comes all this magical, mythological, magi flow. And you gotta believe in yourself again. That's how you save yourself. We're not just saying, Sky Daddy, crack the sky and save us. We say we gotta save ourselves by being in code with what the Creator created for us to flow in. The magi we naturally have, the elements, the frequency, the dragons are real. The living water is real. Your unity needs to be real. Your priest king is real, so the flock needs to be real, because the shepherd is real. We didn't have to go outside our tribe to get a shepherd. We didn't have to go to Muhammad to get a shepherd. We have a shepherd in our flock already. Khan David is forever. One shepherd forever. Ezekiel 37. We got receipts for Khan David, man. All through the Tanakh, the imprint is there. What do you have for JC in the Tanakh? And don't tell me the Quran is some correction of the Tanakh. Because the Jews don't rock with the Tanakh. They rock with the Talmud. The Christians don't rock with the Tanakh. They rock with the New Testament. So who's going to rock with the Tanakh if the Jews don't rock with the Tanakh and the Christians don't rock with the Tanakh and the Muslims don't rock with the Tanakh? It's just open for someone to rock and wear the shoes of the Hebrew. the cards, the Karakata, the melanated cons of the pure cafe, promised land. Kaleluz, Ania. They hold crafty converse against your people. They take counsel against your treasured ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Is the story getting clear? Is the picture getting clear? That the name of Israel may be no more, and you don't remember it, man. That's the prophecy's true. Hawa said it, man. You don't remember yourself. Because someone that looks like you has cut you off from being a nation. Who? They have come together with one consent. Who? Against you do they make a covenant? Who, boss? The tents of Edom, Black Edom, Black Ishmael, Black Moab, Black Hagarites, Black Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistia, Tyre, Assyria, black-ass children of Lot have made a confederacy. Consulted together with one consent. Their unity is their greatest weapon. Your unity is your greatest weapon. All it takes is a remnant to unify. And you gotta unify around a code. Most High over everything, KTC. That's how you unify, not a doctrine, not a religion. The code. No killing each other, no stealing from each other, no bearing false witness on your brother. No covetous, don't be jealous of each other. Simple things, keep your Shabbat, right? Let's go. This queen was a code keeper. She wasn't rocking all that, heebie-jeebie, man. You know what I'm saying? She was rocking with Solomon. She was rocking with Dawid. What they say, the Amazon queens were on the front line. Well, they're said to have excluded men from their society, but we know when we read the Prester John letter that he admits that they were all married and they would come together like a few times a year at least, bearing their children and doing their thing, even though they were at war, right? So they couldn't really rock together like they wanted to because they were at war. So they kind of, did it for protection. And these warlike enterprises to have conquered and alarmed surrounding nations. Some writers treat these accounts as fables. Some writers treat these accounts as fables, right? Rago. Okay. So this name has been given to some American females on the banks of the largest river in the world who joined their husbands. They are married. They didn't exclude their husbands. They are married in attacking the Spaniards in the more-on-more war. Because we know what Charles Kento looked like. So let's get some clarity. They were joined with their men, right? However, they did their battle plan. They were joined by their kings, and the kings were joined by their queens. It's simple. It's easy, but alright. So one source maintains that the Spaniards, upon arriving along the California shores, saw a number of black people with ships. They asked the Indians who were they, and the Indians replied that these black curly-haired people were of the land of California and traded with people across the sea, the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so let's pop off. Now I want to try to keep this around the 2-hour range this time, so let's get it, man. So they say when the Spaniards, right, so just pay attention to the timeline, Spaniards, right, 1400s, 1500s, right, so when they came up, these Amazon queens were already there, so they call this a myth, right? When it was just happening, and even Columbus, talks about the island of women and all this stuff that he encountered. These queens are on the front line with their kings, right? Black curly-haired people were of the land of California and traded with people across the sea, the Pacific Ocean, by selling back and forth. I don't know about you, but I'm more inclined to believe that Native American Indians selling from the Pacific Ocean, and trading seems more likely regarding this legend. Shout out to Sola, S-O-L-A, man, yeah. Where were these black Californians going to in the Pacific? It is most likely they were trading with people in Hawaii or as far as South Pacific, man. Shout out to Kamehameha, Kamai, right? All these other Nagas, the Philippines, right? Remember the Philippines were, look, man. So this is all taking place a couple hundred years or so before what they're picking up here as these major wars in American history. But even though we know Chickamauga, right, those that did not sign these treaties with the Cherokee, they're called the Chickamauga, they're on the front line, right, for the first 20 years. Right, this is after this Amazon flow, right? Then it goes into the Tecumseh War, right? And then now we got the Seminole War, and all this is still the Chickamauga War. So same tribes, same Israelite tribes. This is how long you've been fighting. From these 1400s and Spaniards and Amazon queens, all the way up, man. Hundreds and hundreds of years of fighting the hijack. Hundreds and hundreds of years of fighting the hijack. And if Khalifa's popping off in 1400s, man, you bet your ass, man, that means Solomon and David are more recent than the 12th century. And of course, we know we got the living water, we got the fountain of youth, so the 12th century is not the end of David, of the Solomon flow, you know what I'm saying, of your magi, of your priest kings, of your priest queen. They're talking Philippines, we're talking Texas Indian Wars, Mexico Wars, and yes, Philippine War. All throughout the 1900s, who were they at war with? Were they at war with the same people? Were they at war with the same Nagas that Queen Khalifa and the Amazons were visiting, right? In fact, when Magellan arrived in the Philippines, there were large numbers of negritos, right? Niggas, Nagas, who were well organized. I said, say it with me, boss, well organized. United tribes. And according to some sources, a strong population, that's African presence in early age. We're talking Americans, man. Love the Ivan Van Sertima, but you ain't gonna bring us to Africa, boss. They already are here. We're talking copper color, Nagas found here. Definition of an American. Okay. I'm just getting some of this, man, but we know we're talking gold, cities of gold, right? Sheba, right, means what? Daughter of the 7 cities of gold. I mean, all this is happening. Why not go right in our face, bro? So when we put this together, we say, yo, this is recent history. They talking about Columbus Day. We talking about the invasion of regal royal Nagas right here in India's period, boss. And I'm just gonna get this excerpt from this Eli Yahoo project, and they took this website down. But I'm just so grateful that we, at least printed this out. I did screenshot it, but for some reason they didn't let me pull it up. So I emailed it to myself like 7-8 times. It's not even popping up in my email. So I do have it on my screenshot on my phone. I do have a printed out copy, and I'm just gonna read, a couple paragraphs and pay attention to the timelines. We're talking high Amazon queens. We're talking Queen Khalifa, right? So. Now it says around 116 AD, the Romans under the Emperor Trajan, Trajan, which is probably where they're getting the Trojan flow, attacked and destroyed Parthia, which they also call Ophir, right? So let's put this together. These Romans are attacking Ophir, okay? Cities of gold, right? The home city of the Parthian Empire, which was at the mouth of the Swan Canyon, right? We're talking Swan Knights when we talk Sylvanus Totaxis and them. We're talking Swan Knights when we're talking these queens. Swan is Perth. I'm just reading this from the Yahoo project that they took down off the internet. All right, so this ain't even on the internet. So just check it out. And again, we're gonna go way deeper on this next one on the 122, and I'll have the PDF for that. I'll PDF this thing so that we can at least get this out, right? So this attack on Ophir by the Emperor Trojan, right, which is at the mouth of the Swan Canyon, now under the ocean, it says, they established a secret Roman colony. We're talking Remani, with its new capital of Barabona, north of the Tamala, Temala, or Swan or Eridanus River. So this is also called the Swan River. This is also called the Swan Canyon. And Barber means swan in Hebrew, and it says it right here. The name of the region was originally called Barber, Barbur, which is swan in Hebrew, or Barab, or Barabia, or what they call barbarian or barbarian, right? So Barabia is Barber, is the swans or the Swan Knights under King Solomon, Sylvanus Totaxis. Now we're talking Solomon and Sheba flow. So the Barbers were to establish trading colonies, it says, in Africa, but remember we're in Northwest Africa. Let's go. And around 1450 to 1500, they moved their center of operations to North Africa and the Ottoman Empire, where they were known as the Barbary Pirates. Nah, these are people taking the Barbary titles in North Africa. Now they're talking the Moors, and this is how they try to wrap their way around Queen Khalifa, right? And gave them the names to the people, gave their names to the people of North Africa. They also had bases on what is now called Barbar Islands in Indonesia, okay, which was once part of the Eridalan area before much of it sunk into the sea between 1350 and 1530. My nigga, if all this is sinking in the sea in 1350, then this cataclysm, this flood situation, all this stuff might be way more recent. If all this just sunk between 1350 and 1550 or 1530, and we see all these 1530 maps, right, with, Asia Major as America. So the central Babar island is the remnant of the great trading city of the Barbars or Berbers. The steep appearance of the island is man-made rather than natural, as claimed by the evolutionist scientists. There was another possible Barber colony near Barber Island in Queensland before 1530. And again, Orientis finds him at 1531, right? Huh? Okay. Let's keep going. The Barrier Reef was once the coastal plain of Queensland before 1530 AD, not the date that the evolutionists give of 20 million years ago. Whoa! So this researcher from the Elihu Project, that they took it down off the internet, took the website down. He's connecting that this 1530 is the real date of this Barrier Reef situation, which is also connected to this flooding situation between 1350 and 1530. 1530 seems to be a very important denoting situation, right? It's denoting something, demarcation, right? So this is not the date that the evolutionists give of 20 million years ago. So it's showing you that they'll put something out there like 20 million years and it's really just 1530, but we calling it dark ages because they're adding that much time. They're not just adding the three major chronological time shifts, 300 years, 1,000 years, 1,800. They're going sometimes to say, hey man, that happened 20 kajillion million years ago. And we don't know no better, so we believe it. But 20 million years ago is really just the year 1530 AD to this researcher. It says the two leading families of these Barbars, these swans, were the Barbarossa and the Reis families, which were branches of the ruling royal family of Rhoda. Remember, the Rhoda means red, right? So we're talking Arizona. The kingdom of Rhoda was in Arizona. Then they changed it to Rhode Island, but we're still talking America. The ruling royal family of Rhoda and the Rubani or Lubani or Albany, like Albany, New York. It's just Lubani, Rubani, one letter Ru, right? Some of them converted to Islam. Others remained Jewish or Hebrew, right? Some of them would become Catholics or crypto-Jew Catholics, like they're hiding that they have to hide the fact that they're code keepers to stay alive. Some have claimed they were of Greek ancestry, others Turkish, and others Spanish. Whether they were outwardly Muslim, Jewish, or Catholic, they served the hidden Amazon queen. Who's that? The same person they call in the mythology, right? They served Queen Khalifa. They served the hidden Amazon queen. Talking swans, right? I put this together with the Swanite Kalelus flow from, Forbidden Histories of America of Daniel Lowe, and then you put the kings and the queens together, and then you get better dates, and you see how recent this was in America, boss. We can't be from Africa. All this is happening. We still fighting wars. When did you have time to be a slave from Africa? You fighting all these wars, boss. Texas Indian War. Hundreds of years of these wars. Cherokee, Chickamauga, right? The Coonsay War. Chickamauga. When were you a slave if you were fighting the whole damn time? When were you a slave? Last part I get is this, man. So they served the queen who, after 1530, had moved with her warrior Hebrew Amazon women. So they say Jewish Amazon women. So this woman is a Hebrew, and this is facts and receipts backing it up, other than the fact that she is Sheba, Queen Sheba. She is Shambhala. But yes, she is a Hebrew Amazon queen. And it says they move with her, or they serve the hidden Amazon queen who after 1530 had moved with her warrior Hebrew Amazon women into the area of the Caucasus Mountains. So now they're hiding out in the Caucasus. Now we're talking Byzantine. Mosak, Cappadocia. Some of the Kurds descend from these women. One of the hidden Amazon queens is known as Asenath Barzani, a Kurdish woman rabbi and leader of the Jewish community. So they're claiming descent from these Amazon queens. Her father is Rabbi Samuel, grandson of King Joseph of the Rubati or Lubani. Amazing. And just, we're going to get into this, man, but I mean, it says on her death, or they're talking about this Asenath Barzani, on her death, 1542, her daughter Said al-Hurra, who was the queen of the Barbary pirates and the Tiwanan, they left Morocco and moved to Paragali, the fairy castle, to take up her role as the Amazon High Queen. This was a gateway to a hidden Amazon city. Then they connect the Persians, Indians, Armenian, and their legends divide the Amazons or fairies into two groups. So when you hear about these fairies and these fairy tales, we're talking Amazon. The Peri, P-E-R-I, and the Div, D-I-V-S. The Divs are also the Dewi, D-E-W-I, or the Dodi, which connects to the same David, Dewi title. So the David title, they also call Davida titles. So we have, again, framer, shaper, king, queens ruling side by side under Davida, Dewi titles, David titles, all connected with the tribes of Judah, tribes of Israel, right? So it says, in fact, the Peri are those Amazon queens like Paris or Pariahs, right? Like it says where Mexico would be, it says Pari, P-A-R-I. When I'm reading it, it says P-E-R-I. So again, one letter rule, P-A-R-I, P-E-R-I, but we're talking Pariahs, we're talking Mexico. Little guys popping off, man. So again, in fact, these Pari or Pariahs are those Amazon queens who reign from Paragala, and the Divs or Divis are the Dewis, D-E-W-I, those who reign in Kanka. And I said pay attention to the Kanka because it has something to do with this Ganges, which is the Ganja, or the Kanka, one letter rule, since the C's and G's and K's are interchangeable. Let's go as we make our dismount. All right. So they reigned in Kanka, right? What's it got to do with Ganges? And the Ganges is also connected to the magical, mythical Paradise Rivers. Is one of these Ganges right here in Asia, all right? They want to say Australia, right? It's all good because Australia is just a term for below, right? And this below has to do with South America, but let's go. Who were descended from the Queen of Sheba. We're talking Khalifa. Kanka was on the banks of the Thebe, T-H-E-B-E, or Sheba. So when they talk Thebes, one letter rule, change the T and the S, you got Sheba, like Sheba River. So the Kanka was on the banks of the Sheba River. And what does the Sheba River got to do with the Saint-Maignan? All right, man, that's all I'm going to get for now. But I'm going to PDF it, and next time we'll be reading this document together, my niggas. I know, man. I know we've been surfing the wave. Khalifa. Fictional queen, yeah. She don't exist no more. But she's fighting the Spaniards on the island of California, first introduced by the 16th century poet Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo in his epic novel of chivalry, Las Sagas de Explandian, The Adventures of Explandian. We gotta get that, man. Written in around 1511, the California is a region of North America encompassed United States of California. Okay, United States of California. U.S. state of California, the Mexican states of Baja, California, Sur. I think some of these Bajas really connect into the, main portion of Khalifa's flow. They take their name from Khalifa and her kingdom. In the novel, Khalifa is a pagan warrior queen, yeah, because she's not a Christian, okay, who ruled over a kingdom of black women living on the island of California, an island off the coast of Asia. Yeah, Asia, right? North America, yeah, Asia. Perry, right? Paris, Ganji, Kanka, Ka. Khalifa is convinced to raise an army of women warriors and sail away from California with a large flock of trained dragons or griffins so that she can join a Muslim battle against Christians who are defending Constantinople. So now we got this story that she's joining Muslims against Christians, or she Hebrew fighting against the Christians, fighting against the Muslims. They both want to act like Prester John's on their side and Khalifa's on their side, man. Hijack City, man. We gonna pick it up and keep it going with these beautiful high Amazon queens, man. We just get started, man. This is all happening. You know what I mean? But you see how this is all really connecting in real time, man, because here we go with the Spain flow, and the Spain flow really brings us into what's happening. The name of Khalifa was likely formed from the Arabic word Khalifa, state leader, that is known as Caliph in English or Khalifa in Spanish. Similarly, the name of Khalifa's realm, California, likely originated from the same root fabricated by the author to remind the 16th century Spanish reader of the Reconquista, or the takeover, a century-long fight between Christian Iberians and Muslim Arabs. Stop the play. We didn't have to choose these sides. Man. By the way, man, the water to my cousin, all your support is amazing. We see it adding up. We almost there, reaching our goal of 20K. So please be the niggas that get us over the top, and please continue your support as we got a lot to build. Enjoy World AI Brooklyn.